So if you're here, you're right on time to hear this message. Tonight, I'm speaking to the spiritually gifted, those who have been walking with structure, clarity, or direction, and who know they can't keep doing it alone. Okay. So I'm speaking to the entire collective as well. When I say collective, I'm speaking to soul-born, spiritual beings, those who know that um, you are here to work, whether you call it your purpose, I say your mission. Um, there's no stopping it. There's no going back to being regular, normal. You know that in your own friend group, your family group, whatever it is, that you're different. No matter how you try to make yourself seem normal and fit in, you know that you're constantly masking. And so this is who I'm speaking to. I'm speaking to the ones who have gifts that for you it seems normal, but you realize that other people around you don't have those gifts. They don't see the things that you see. They don't see the synchronicities that you see. And if they do, it's not as potent or important to them. You see these things and you're like, "This means something." Everything you watch, everything you do, it means something, and that is, your higher self saying, "Pay attention." So, this is who I'm speaking tonight. I'm not here to teach. This is not one of our monthly lectures. I'm here to speak to the ones who are called. So, there is a crisis, spiritual crisis amongst the modern seeker. What do I mean by seeker? The one who is seeking true truth, not the superficial truths, the good feeling truths, but the truth beneath all of that. Not the fad truths, the things that come and go, but the actual truth. It's a crisis. And what I mean by that is that those who are seekers of truth feel several things, feel 5 things really. The first one is scattered. There's something that you're looking for, you don't know where it's coming from, and so what happens is you start looking everywhere, okay? I can't tell you how many people, have reached out to me and said, "Professor, that was really good. Where can I find the book on that?" And sometimes I say, "Well, there really isn't a book on it," but I get the feeling of trying to get information. So you're on so many different social media sites, so many different groups, so many different things, and you're getting pieces here, pieces there, and you feel like your energy is scattered. That's the first thing that happens. Not just that, the information is scattered, and sometimes it doesn't sit together, it doesn't make sense, or it's pulling you to the left, pulling you to the right. You don't feel the balance in it. The second crisis is the feeling of overwhelmment, and so the scattered usually leads into feeling overwhelmed. Now you have all this information, all these things, and so because you can't properly organize it, you get overwhelmed. Am I supposed to meditate like this? Do I have to breathe in my left nostril 3 times? Do I take 4 breaths out, 4 breaths in? Do I need to meditate at this time? Should I even meditate? I heard you're not supposed to meditate. Do I have to be quiet when I'm meditating, or do I need to receive something? Now you're overwhelmed and you just don't do it at all. Do I have to have an altar? Do I have to have incense? What kind of incense should I have? How many candles shall I light? What color should the candles be? I'm from this country, so is it important for me to understand my roots here? Should I be, in this facet, this group, this, should I be more? Am I more? Am I indigenous? What tribe am I from? Am I African? What am I? Does that even make sense because I'm spiritual? All this information. Am I alien? Are they aliens? What planet am I from? Are the aliens in the Earth? Where are they at in the Earth? Is the Grand Canyon really the Grand Canyon? Is it Egypt? and you find bits of truth in all of it, but it is overwhelming. It's overwhelming, and so you're constantly seeking, constantly listening. So many of you, and I'm speaking to you specifically, so born, because you know that there's a truth that you're looking for. You're taking the notes and you're studying and you're doing all these things, and then it often leads to number 3, loneliness, 'cause you have all this information and some of it's really good. You wanna share it with someone. So you tell someone, "Do you know that, Eden is really in Florida? Do you know that, you know, do you know anything about Sirius and the Dogon tribe? Do you know what 222 really means? I saw a duck in my front yard. You know what that means?" And people are like, "What? Like, what are you talking about?" And so a lot of times you start sharing these sentiments, these things, and you realize, "Okay, am I the weird one?" Stay in my house. Let me just not talk to anyone. 'Cause every time I say something, it's an issue. And then you sometimes you tap into truth and you share with your family, and they're not getting it. And so you're like, "How don't you see this? This is blatant." And they're looking at you strange, and you're getting frustrated, and now you're like the angry family member, and everyone looks at you like you're crazy because every time you come around, you're trying to beat us over the head with some stuff. "We don't care about that." And you're like, "Why don't you care? Maybe if I say it differently, they'll care." And you realize that they don't, and so you can't relate to anyone, so then you start isolating yourself. Now you feel lonely because no one gets it. There's no one like me. Who can I talk to about these things? Yes, cool to be in meditation, and especially if you have certain gifts and you can see or hear your spirit team speaking to you, but, like, damn, can I go have some lunch with somebody, a physical person with a body? Like, this spiritual stuff is whack. Am I supposed to go live in the forest and be alone? Like, I really want a wife. I really want a husband. I really want a family. I really want friends. But sometimes that loneliness is too much. And so number 4 happens. And number 4 is inconsistency, because the spiritual path is challenging. It is I'm lonely, I'm overwhelmed, I'm all over the place. Maybe they are right. Maybe when my friend said, "You don't know what you're talking about. You this is just a fad. Everybody's on a spiritual journey right now. You're trying to meditate. It obviously ain't working. I don't see you manifesting any money. You still broke." And something in you says, "Maybe they're right." And you stop for a while. I call it the spiritual temper tantrum. You think your spirit team is mad at you, your ancestors somebody's mad at you because it's not working, and you out here looking crazy. You don't have no friends, no family, you totally isolated, you look a crazy person. So you're like, "Forget this spirit stuff don't even work." So now you start talking yourself out of it. Now you're inconsistent, and for a moment you feel good. Maybe this was the right thing to do. Maybe that stuff really I really wasn't hearing stuff. Maybe I'm bipolar. Maybe I get to get on some medicine. Maybe there's a real issue with me. So you stop for a while. Then maybe you come back, you feel better. Like, you realize, "No, this is the truth. This does make sense. Duh, this is, like, logical. I don't have to study to know that this is truth. Like, why don't people get it?" Now you're back on the path. Now you're back doing your work, and something happens, and then you are it's the consistency that happens. I know this to be the crisis of the modern seeker, not because I'm pointing fingers, but because I get it. This was me for over a decade. There wasn't a place that I can go to. There wasn't a group. I looked for it. Where could I go? Go to this event, go to that event, join this group, join that group, but you still feel like something's missing. Oh, yeah, this information is juicy, it's good, but how do I implement this in my life? I've learned the 20 something mantras. I'm not gonna say, like, let's keep it all the way real. I have a job, a family, kids, whatever it is. I'm tired. The bills is high. Oh my gosh. Everything is, like, crazy in this world, and I gotta do all this spiritual stuff. I can't remember it all. I can't get it perfect. Just F it. Just where are my people? I'm here. I just want that I just wanted to sit with you for a minute. For 6 years for a little over 6 years, I've been actively guiding, teaching, walking with spiritual beings, you all, and so I've heard all the stories, I've heard all the things. So when I list these things, when I list the scattered, the overwhelmed, the lonely, the inconsistent, these are truth. And here's the part that is the most disturbing. When I see the spiritually gifted, the ones who are truly spiritually gifted, feeling unsupported in their giftings, the ones who have something that is so unique, so powerful, and they doubt it, or they're afraid to share it because they feel they'll be ridiculed, or even the ones who have these gifts and don't even know how to use it or don't even realize that it is a gift. And so you have this amazing thing that you enjoy doing, and you don't do it. You hold back. Not that you need someone to say, "Good job, keep going." Sometimes you just need a confirmation that this is something unique, this is something powerful. I've never seen anyone do this like this before. And so many of you feel unsupported in your gifts because you're not using them. You're not using them because you don't recognize them as gifts. Because when you do use your gift, listen, with a family member or a friend, they disregard it. When you say to someone, "I just heard that you should do this," or "I just received this," and you're genuine about it, when you're genuine about it, they may look at you like you're crazy. So you learn not to say anything. The truly spiritually gifted are gravely unsupported at this time, and this is one of the crisis that is happening in the modern seeker, because your gifts are meant to transform others' lives. So, the scattered, overwhelmed, the lonely, inconsistent, and spiritually gifted that are unsupported. These are the 5 spiritual crises that I've seen over the past 6 years, over and over and over again. This is not to point fingers at anyone, to make anyone feel bad. I'm just speaking to your truth. It has been my truth. I've shared this, over 25 years ago. I had a vision of from at the time, for me, it was like a school, it was this place with all these people, and all these people were happy, what I perceive like fulfilled, and they were all, like, in alignment with each other. That's the only way I can describe it, like, getting along and, like, empowering each other, and I thought, "This is a school." I remember sharing with, someone that, "This is a school. I'm gonna have this school." And I did. We had an amazing school, Spiritual Ascension University, but still there was a facet even within that. Without the classes and the teachers and teachings and the memberships, there was always this group, this consistent group or this consistent energy of people that I consider them seekers. They wanted more. They wanted to know. They wanted consistency. They wanted community. They were overwhelmed and would express it. They didn't wanna be scattered. They didn't wanna be in multiple directions. Just, "What is the direction? Show me which way to go, professor." And I will always bring them back to themselves. "What is your spirit saying?" You follow that. So there's always this underlining group that kind of would follow through all of the thousands and thousands of students that we've had. And in 2024, I said, "This group is the collective. It's the collective of soul-born that are in a conscious space of wanting consistency, focus, practical guidance, direction." And so in 2024, Spirit said, "You're gonna create this. We're gonna call it the collective." That's the name, the collective? Yeah, the collective. Okay. That's what it is. And it became a container, not a course, not a we're gonna take classes, get a certificate, we're gonna take classes, and this is gonna end. It just became like a home. For some, it was a membership where they would come in, come out, and that's fine. But for others, it was like home where they felt connection, where they felt grounding, where they were disciplined. Listen, not discipline from me, even from their peers. And let me explain what that looks like. Someone coming on camera and sharing something, and then someone else saying, "Hey, listen, you got this. Why don't you try this? Let me help you. Don't stop. Keep going. We support you." Where you were able to form your own identity, not you have to wear this outfit, you have to wear these colors, this is your whatever, you need to say these things. This is what we not religious, your own identity. Who are you as an individual? You like a pink hair? You wanna wear pink hair? Wear your pink hair. You wanna be a rapper? Be a rapper. Whatever it is, you have your own individual identity, and it's meant to be something powerful because it's connected to your spiritual gifts. Who are you? A place where you can receive true direction, and most importantly, learn to have a spiritual backbone. Let me tell you what this looks like, because remember what I said, the scattered, overwhelmed, the loneliness, the inconsistent. One thing that I say is that the spiritual path is walked with ease because you know I'm on my spiritual path, you know what to expect. But listen, when those challenges come up, when those things happen, when it feels like the floor is falling out from under you, the roof is caving in on you, what do you do? What happens? Do you stand still? Do you say one moment, "Oh, my spirit team has my back," but they don't really have it right now? You start your work and then stop because shit's happening? I wanted there to be a space where you learn how to have a spiritual backbone. Because stuff is going to happen. Life is going to cause everything in you to shake, and there's a reason why. There's a reason why things are falling apart in the space that you're in. But if you can't stand firm in that, then you can't get to the next level of the spiral. You can't get to that next level of expansion. And it takes practice, it takes support. Remember when I share with you how the spiral works? Not having a spiritual backbone will cause you to go in loops over and over, and it takes time to develop that. This is not something where you say, "Oh, I'm a spiritual being. I'm strong. Nothing can shake me. I got a strong spiritual backbone." Your spirit team will say, Let's test it. Let's see what's going on. Let's shake some things up and see what rises from you that needs to be looked into." But you can't have something coming up and not have guidance. Listen, and guidance doesn't mean finding every psychic, every reader to tell you, This is happening in my life. What do I do?" Because there's a truth to that. And when you're operating in the spiral, many times those spaces can't tell you where you're going. They can only tell you where you are. That's for another lesson. This physical reality is something wild. It gets wilder every single day. But there is direction, there is support. You don't have to do the most to get it. You don't have to climb mountains and do all sorts of ritualistic rituals. Even when you do those things, there's a consistent work that has to be worked. So, the thing that I was led to do, and I made this announcement in January to all the students at Spiritual AU, I said, "Things are going to transform. This shift already happened, and we're operating in higher dimensional spaces, higher timelines, more expanded spaces, and so no more inconsistency. That's not what we're here for. You're here to transform, to grow, to expand, and if you're not, that's okay, that's okay, but if you are, this is what we're doing." Number 1, clarity. This year, you're gonna get clear. Who are you? What are you here to do? Who are you? Let me say that again, who are you? Not who are you as a spiritual being, because what the heck is that? Who are you? What are you as a unique individual here to do? We're focusing on ascension. No more loops. No more loops. No more same thing after the same thing over and over. We're no longer in that space. That looping is done. We've had enough practice there. So now we're dealing with ascension. We find ourselves in the same position, let's ascend from there. Let's level up. Let's expand. Let's do the work to get to the next level. What does that look like? That's what we're going to be focused on. Consistency. No more inconsistent spiritual work. It doesn't work. Yes, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. I say the spiritual path is like a highway, and sometimes you kinda bumble around, sometimes you're running full force, sometimes you're walking slowly, and sometimes you have that spiritual tantrum where you just stand still. Many of you will get to where you need to go, but as I say, you can do it the easy way or you can do it the hard way. You can bumble around and figure it out, your spirit team will keep redirecting you, or you can be like, "Listen, I recognize who I am, this needs to happen now, let it happen now." This is when you start seeing things like we call manifesting, like, immediately, but it requires consistency. and sovereignty. You need to be able to walk into any environment and know how truly powerful you are and that you determine the energy in that environment, not the other way around, that you are a sovereign being. This is truly knowing thyself. Ah, we know. I know I'm a spiritual being. What happens when shit hits the fan and when you're confronted in your truth? What does it mean to be a sovereign being? We're gonna focus on that this year and on walking the path, not wandering. No more wandering. No more wandering. Past that space. We've passed that space. Things are cycling so fast in this world. No more wandering. It's time to walk straight, walk with confidence. This is what we are doing this year in the collective. This is why this is so powerful. I talk about it. You may hear me say the collective, you may hear me randomly talk about it, but this is not for everyone, and that is okay. You need to find what is for you, whether it's the collective or not. You need to find somewhere that's going to support you in your identity, that's gonna support you in being grounded as a spiritual being, that's gonna provide some discipline in a way that supports your path, not religious. You hear me? That's gonna give you direction that resonates with your soul, that's gonna cause you to have a spiritual backbone when you come up out of it. Next year, you should not be the same. You should not be in a loop. Find a place that's gonna give you clarity. Who am I? What am I really here to do? You're gonna see y you're gonna see yourself ascending so much that people around you are going to say, "What happened? What did you do? How did you do that?" That's gonna cause you to be consistent, that you'll no longer be wandering and trying to guess and trying to figure out and doing all these things. Find something. I know what this space is. I know what I was instructed to do here, and I know the people that are called in this year. 144 souls, I was told. No more. That's it. Some of you know that this is your next step, and if the door is open, and if your soul says yes, then you walk in. The door is open, you're here. Love you so, family. Have a wonderful, wonderful night.